So this is the Exotica I've been working on, and I'm not sure what I want to do today, but I thought I would just start. I can clip out all of the bumbling, and well, this is one of the things I wanted to do. Let me put my gloves on. I've got these little fine wires. I think this is like a 26 gauge, 28 gauge. Okay, it's a really thin wire. And I think the wire that thin, I can do some things with my clay. You know, I want to sculpt little pieces on the ends of the clay so I can stick those into the clay so it'll be supported, and do some fancy things later, I think. So I'm just clipping them and bending the ends into a little loop there so it will hold the clay. Nothing special. Oops. How do you like my orange plastic? This is a package that came to me, and I just liked the plastic so much because it's so cheerful that I decided to put that down. Silly. What I think I'll do is use bees putty to make some berries or something like that. Just some little growths I can add to my sculptures. Mushrooms, whatnot. I'm not sure if just the bare clay is going to hold on to the clay enough. Maybe and maybe not. I can dip these into glue to give it a little bit better hold so it won't slip around. I use this little camel snuff box to hold my bees putty. See? Every precious piece of the translucent bees putty. And I'm just going to take a little bead like that and mix it with an equal amount of Primo translucent. Because that makes your bees putty more flexible. As it cools, it still has its flex, but it doesn't take the strength of the bees putty away. And I just like using the translucents because they're so natural, easy to tint with just about anything from alcohol inks to Pearl X type powders or pastels. You really don't need colored clay. You can get the translucent, you can add your own pigment to it. You have to condition it anyway, so. And you can also buy like very small 2-ounce packages of Primo or Sculpey to tint your clay, and that's very affordable. I'm just going to make this condition this real well, and then I'll let's see, I should put the glue on that, shouldn't I? Where did I put these? Just set these out of the way, and I can work on other things while those are drying. Let go. Eleni Willowbrook has commented on Facebook. Most days while I'm working, I have Facebook open. It's a bad habit. But I don't like to miss out on what my buddies are doing. Lately I've been looking at a lot of flower stamens and things like that, but I think, is it really worth it to buy those? I can make those and then probably make them nicer than buying them. There's also little paper flowers that come from Thai, and you can get those in every color. They're kind of interesting, though. They're a little bit, the paper used is a little bit thick. It's made out of mulberry paper. Which is why I like the silk flowers a little bit better, but there's not as much variety. Maybe a mix of the two of them along with some flowers that I make myself. I haven't really gotten involved in that. Of course, you want your work to be worth the time and effort. Little flowers might be hard on the eyes and not really help you out that much. So, I got that. And we can give her a little bit of a base thing. Now, Jessie got me a belt sander type thing, so now when my bases are not good, I can sand them on the bottom, and that'll be very helpful. I oftentimes have one that just doesn't sit quite right and needs to be sanded, and doing it by hand is a pain. So kind of looking forward to doing that. Look at a nice pad there. Let's put that on the glass. You can also put these through your pasta machine, but I don't usually bother with that. Let's see. You can see that. One of the things I got so used to doing little girls that when I make an adult bust, I forget that the shoulders are quite wide. I always have strong shoulders on my dolls, and one of the little odds is the strong shoulders good? Are they indicative of a strong woman who has some weight on her that she must carry, or is it just out of proportion and odd looking? I have to decide things like that, because sometimes a little bit of an oddness is what draws people to your work. It makes them look at it a little bit longer. You can have perfect anatomy. You might notice when you're looking at things, you'll look at it and you'll say, wow, that's so real, that's amazing. Then you're done, you move on. Well, just a few minutes, But for me, when I find something and it's got just a little bit of a quirkiness to it, I'll look at it a bit longer. It's a puzzle. It makes you think a little bit more. Then maybe that's me because I'm an artist, and I wonder, well, why did they choose that particular thing? Or what could that mean? What does that convey to me? What's the resonance in it? I always think things like that. Maybe that's just a part of being loony, that you overthink too much. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I even like the tilt of her head is a little bit optimistic. See a hair on the tip of her nose. Get that out. The thing I like so much about working in polymer clay is I don't have to put the clay on right the first time. I can do a lot of fiddling around. It's not drying on me, and it's not being a problem. It just stays put till I'm ready. A little bit of support on the back. These are those little rubber things I was talking about. And I had some of these before, but the rubber was very soft, and I don't think it stood up very well to very much work. It doesn't need that much give. But I do like it. very easy to make soft forms, and you don't leave as much of a tool mark. That's very nice for up in those eye corners. Let's see. And I got this in the mail too, that one of my fans paid for. See? I need to clean it up a lot. This is just old elastic that's lost its elasticity. So I can replace that and make it so it holds all of the tools again, and I can put my tools in here and clean up these ivory handle, or they're actually bakelite, but they look like they're ivory, so I think that's cool. Anyway, got that, and I've got a couple of other of these. This one's got a nice ball stylus size on it, nice bigger one. Making those nostrils and the eye corners. She's got quite a high brow bone. I'm not sure if I wanted that high. Sometimes I give my girls just quite a low brow bone, which is a little bit more masculine, but then once I get them painted up, they just have a unique look. It just doesn't seem like it's as heavy as it looks while I'm sculpting. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but sometimes a feature as I'm sculpting I think, oh, that's so ugly, and then later after she has hair I think, oh, she's really special, she really has a unique look. That's why I say that you shouldn't judge so harsh before they have hair and eyebrows, because hair and eyebrows does a lot for a person's face. And if they're very pretty without hair and eyebrows, well, you of course will have a pretty face, but sometimes too pretty. There is such a thing as too pretty. The philosophy, Anita. You don't want your dolls looking too pretty. You just watch yourself. Oh, that hair is being really obnoxious. Come on now, you. It's one of those ones that's partly in the clay and partly outside. So it wants to keep popping up. There we go. I haven't thought too much about what kind of nose I want on this one. She's got a very tiny nose. So maybe just a pert pixie. She looks like she could be a pert pixie type. I gave her eyes quite a bit of slant this time, an upward slant. Sometimes I choose an upward slant, sometimes I choose a downward slant. And of course she doesn't have eyelids yet. Depending on what kind of race I want to indicate for her, she would have different kinds of eyelids, race and age. See, if I wanted to make her look a little older, I'd make it sunken up in here and give her a larger upper lid. very smaller lid for a younger figure, and almost no lid for Asian, and just right in here, like that. I kind of like that for her. I'm not sure at this point. That small nose, maybe. I left her sitting out too long without the plastic on, and she has gotten quite a bit of lint. It just settles on your clay. So I'm not sure if I haven't covered everything as far as the sculpting. Let me see, I haven't really gone into details about the torso. I could go into some more detail about that. I wonder if I should give her a hand. She looks like she could use a hand of some sort, or maybe an animal quality. You can always add an animal quality, like a wing or a beak. Oh, you know, something that indicates that she is not just human. She can have long ears. She looks like she might make a nice elf type character. I make some nice little gross fur on her head and her headdress, possibly some animal ears. We got holidays coming up. Easter's gone. Valentine's Day is gone. Leprechaun Day is gone. Mother's Day is gone. What do we have next? Just summer? 4th of July. Well, the best thing for the 4th of July, I think, is clowns. She does not look like a clown. Now, for Nayada, you might have saw I was thinking about doing the girl with the pearl earring, which I think that would be really fun. I've never tried to actually duplicate an old painting like that. I have used old paintings as reference, but not directly where the subject's completely the same and everything. And I might change a few things to her, if I can find kind of a comical bent on it, something ironic or cute. Like I really liked the Sailor Moon version of the girl with the pearl earring. Which what I was reading about her is they think that it's not a pearl earring but like a tin, polished to tin, and that she's wearing a Turkish costume. She's just showing off a Turkish costume. I thought that was interesting. I do love about the Super Sculpey is it seems so well to itself. You don't have to fuss around with a lot of of your energy going into blocking out the form, basic form. It just has a few of its own quirks that aren't so great. Mainly that it's fragile. You have to make it a bit thicker and use it for larger figures than the stronger clays. But also, if you bake it too much, you will get moonies up the wazoo. That is less of a problem for me since I paint them. Now, usually I make quite a big muscle right in here so that the shoulders kind of taper. That's my attempt to make them a bit more graceful than figures usually are, less